welcome everybody out to our Monday, July 16th workshop. How do we get started today?
Okay, I turned my phone back off after calling Mr. Ridge.
Oh, Lana, Mickey, you know what? Y'all, I'm sorry. I'll turn this phone off because it is, I forgot to turn it off and a car dealership is trying to get a hold of me. I think I left it in the car, thank goodness.
Make sure your microphone is on. I just had to remember to turn it on.
Okay. Dr. Pickles, would you like to get us started, or?
Ms. Hagan requested this meeting.
Yes, ma'am, and it seems to me as if every school board member should have requested this meeting after reading the statement, every attorney in this building, and especially our attorney and superintendent's attorney, should have requested this meeting. Now, you have the statements that have been read.
Yes.
And these were not honest spoken words, these are written words. And once these words are written, you cannot take them back. And this woman is an attorney herself. And this spells trouble for us if we don't address this. But since I'm the only one concerned, I'm not going to say anything else. If anybody else have any problems, let it be.
These are things that need to be addressed. But I think we need to try to find out what things are happening before we can come up with what we're going to do about the things that have happened. There's a lot of allegations that are to me, very serious because they involve students and they hurt students' feelings. But who and what is specifically happening, because this is really broad for me. Has anybody received any information that's more specific about specific things that we need to start addressing?
No, ma'am, not at this time, other than these emails.
And what about diversity training? Do we have some diversity training?
That's being scheduled for when staff and
Well, since
teachers
we have our
return.
two attorneys here, maybe we should get some directions from them.
Sure. Good. Madam Chair,
One for the
Yes.
superintendent and one for the school board.
has anyone reached out to Ms. Vargas specifically and asked her for details?
She has been asked to come in, and she has declined to do so at this time.
My recommendation.
When was she asked to come in? And who asked her to come in?
She reached out to Mr. Stallmacher, and then,
Human resource person?
then we were arranging, and then she declined. So that's been several weeks ago.
Okay, and so we just let it stay at that, these serious allegations. She has reached out to the principal. Nothing was done. And this is what this lady says. As I mentioned to you before, my resignation is because of the unethical concerns that I have witnessed at the schools. Teachers are discriminating against students of color, poor students, and students who they prefer not to have in their classes. And this should not be accepted within any school. As a lawyer, I share with you that I will not stand for this. As a parent, I would not stand for this. Now, this lady has reached out continuously. No one has answered this lady. Superintendent, principal, and I see where she has to Mrs. Geraldine Wildgoose, Dr. Karen Pickles, Robin Hill, Vieta Hagan, Susan Williamson, Carol Gibson, Bart Offord, Roger Williams, Valencia Bonds. Please get in touch. And she has all these serious allegations. And we declined to address any of them. And had not this lady sent this to the board, we would not have known anything about it. And the board is the governing body for the schools.
Okay.
That's why Ms. Hagan asked for this to be discussed.
She reached out to me on June 18th this is the end of the school year. Did she reach out to anyone else prior to June 18th? If these are so serious, you reach out to somebody before the school ends. It's a teacher's duty and obligation to report anything that's a problem. And I'm wondering if she reached out to anyone.
It's my understanding.
Well, if you would read this email where it says please get in touch. And have you read the paragraphs and stuff?
I've read the whole thing
After
more than
sharing
once.
with you my concerns, now this was dated for June 18th. And I would say that she got in touch with someone because she says, after sharing with you my concerns, I do hope that you would take all of the proper procedures to protect your students. My students, the future. And please let me know if I can be of any assistance. Nobody reached out to her. She reached out to the school resource officer, and that's the best that we could do. So, my board attorney, I'm asking you to lead us and guide us on this, please.
Okay. My recommendation is this. Ms. Vargas has reached out, and this email was addressed to Ms. Wildgoose, who was her principal. She copied the superintendent and the school board. The superintendent has said that the human resources, they had some discussions, but that's on behalf of the superintendent, not the school board. What I think the allegations made in this email are very serious. They do need to be addressed. There's no doubt about any of that. I think, though, the way they are phrased, I think it's going to be difficult to investigate them because you don't have specifics. You don't have dates and places and those sorts of things. What I would recommend is that, as the chairman of the school board, let's go ahead and send her a letter back, because this letter was sent to all of the school board members directly, and say, the school board has seen this letter. The school board is very concerned about these allegations. The school board is requesting that you give us the specifics that we need to conduct an investigation. I think if she'll send us those specifics, and she doesn't have to get involved, but she needs to say, it was at this time, at this date with these people, I think then we can take it from there and we can investigate, because the allegations made are very serious,
They are.
but if you don't have specifics, you can't really investigate anything. And I think the superintendent has tried. That hasn't, she hasn't gotten back with the superintendent. So as the board, let's the board try to reach out to her and see if we can get some specifics. And then, and then we'll just see where it goes from there. I mean, she does ask that we reach out to her again, and I think
Right.
that'd be appropriate now for the board to do that.
And then we will have covered our behinds.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
Because-
and absolutely, you want to do that. But the more important thing is, if you've got kids being treated wrong, now
It
Right.
needs to stop.
it's
We
got to
will
stop.
have
Gotta
covered
stop.
our behinds on that part. And then we decide as a board what we want the next step to be is what I would
Absolutely.
think. And we
Absolutely.
want to address these concerns and make sure
So-
that will not happen again.
Who would we have to draft a letter on our behalf to her?
I'm happy to work with you, Madam Chairman, and we can draft an email. And now, to me, it wouldn't need to be anything particularly
yeah.
elaborate, but it needs to say, we have received your email. We acknowledge that what you're saying are of great concern to the school board. We wish to conduct an investigation, but in order to conduct that investigation, we've got to have some specifics so that we can
Attorney
please
Reeves,
provide.
Can you do that for us?
Absolutely.
Attorney Reeves, can we have an email and a hard copy through certified mail?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
you want to do three forms.
Absolutely.
You want an email, you want a regular form, and you want a certified
As
copy.
long as we've got her address. I mean, I'm sure we do.
It should
but-
be on file here.
Because, if this is happening, it's got to stop in some shape, form, or
Absolutely.
fashion. It's got to stop.
Absolutely.
But we need to know what. We need to know what before you can check
so-
into anything to see the validity and how strong it is and
Absolutely.
what's going on.
Absolutely.
And I don't think this woman would put her, all those years of study and her reputation
Well,
on the line to make accusations like this.
And let me back up for a second. She's an attorney. So
That's
it
right.
may be-
That's what I'm saying. That's
It may
what,
be appropriate for the letter to just come from me if that's what you'd like, and I could just do the letter, and then that way it'll go email and certified mail and all that.
but see,
if
she
you'd
was
like.
our employee though.
Well, however y'all want to do it, but I mean.
But whatever you say, whatever you say.
Ordinarily, I'd say y'all do it, but I mean, she's an attorney, so, I can do the letter as well, but I don't know, it might be better coming from the chair, because then that,
Well, you in the chair, whatever.
Whatever y'all would like
You
to
would
do.
direct the chair on the whatever concerns.
So,
I had a question. Have we
Sure.
heard from Ms. Wild Goose on the matter at all?
Mr. Stallnacker did speak to her, and he has nothing specific because she was not provided any specific dates, names, times.
But she was, spoken to. The lady did speak to her about it.
so I think if that's,
So she chooses to do nothing too.
so if the board's okay with that, I'll get with the chair and we'll send
Okay.
that letter. And is that, and I think if that's consensus of the board, if that's what.
Right, because we need to reach out to her to try to get some specifics to get to the bottom of
Absolutely.
what's going on.
Absolutely.
I think that's a good idea. We do need the specifics because we can't go on this letter
No,
to investigate it. I mean, there's nothing,
But, she hadn't called names, but she has given specifics of racial, unethical.
She's
So she
given-
has given that, the treatment. She has not called names
she's
of,
given the types and the
that's
seriousness.
exactly.
But, and I think that starts the investigation, but to be able to carry it forward, we're gonna have to have some
So
names and
maybe
dates.
we can't know the names of anybody, but we sure can do some stuff to put a stop to this. And you never can put a stop to it, but you can let them know that on our campuses, we would not tolerate that.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Ms. Wild Goose did bring it to my attention, so therefore we are going to provide diversity training during back to school. So she did not ignore the situation. She could not proceed further. It was the end of the year. There was no training to be conducted at the end of the year, and nothing further for her to try to check into, as she did not have specifics as far as dates and times.
Well, the board didn't even know these allegations had been made, and if Ms. Wildgoose had given to you, I think that you should have given it to us. I mean, the lady had to give us these allegations. She had to send these things,
So Mrs. Wild
because
Goose
this is
heard
too
about it at the
serious
end of the year
for
then.
anybody not to give them to the board, the governing body.
So Mrs. Wild Goose heard about this
the end of
situation
the year.
at the end of the year. Okay.
All right, well,
And I don't know
if that's
Well,
the
they haven't heard
consensus,
about them, they're too serious to ignore.
if that's the consensus of the board, then I will get with Mr. Reeves and we will reach out to her and see if we can get some response back.
Okay,
Okay? Well, that was all that was on the workshop.
all right, so I guess we
We don't have to make motion.
nope, just adjourn until 6
We're adjourned until 6 o'clock, the regular meeting.
Thank
Actually,
you.